All right, what are we on today? Okay, here's what we are doing. Let's see, make sure I change my mic. Okay, great. So here's what we're doing. We are right now currently working on underwriting a property in the state of Missouri. Today, I'm just going to go explore some couple markets with you guys. So here I am looking for properties under 100 or under 150 grand right now. What I have on the filters. We looked at Florissant the other day, so I'm just gonna go around and just try to figure out like, hey, do I see any other potential deals? So I'm gonna go ahead and find some properties here that are $114,000. Just found this property in Hazelwood, so let's just underwrite it together and see what happens. So first thing first, what I'm gonna do is 63042. If you guys haven't already, you guys want to go to the HUD FMR. Just Google that. Click on the research, go to small area FMR, and I'm doing this from the beginning, even though I know some of you guys have seen this already, but hey, can't hurt to have a little refresher, right? We're going to St. Louis County, and what I'm trying to do is look up the FMR for the zip code. This is 63042. 63042. The 3-bedroom right here is 1480, and the 4-bedroom property here is 1710. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is go to affordablehousing.com and look at the market rent estimator. You want to copy and paste the address into the owner's market rent estimator, and right now it is a 3-bedroom property. So I want to make sure I get this number down. So what is a 3-bedroom property like? 1347. So I want to make sure I note that in my box. Let me save this file as a new address. 1023. Okay. And right now the purchase price of this property is $113,900, $113,900. We'll update this later. The market rents right now for a 3-bedroom property is going to be 1347. So I'm going to use that number as my property, 1335. I just like to note these numbers so I kind of remember this area. This way, if I have another property in another zip code, I can kind of just come back here really quick and understand exactly what I'm doing here. So now I want to look at the 4-bedroom count and see what my rents are here. At a 4-bedroom count, you look at this picture, it's 1563. So 1563. And I'm noting down the 3-bedroom property because I want to understand, well, what if I find an opportunity to creatively get an additional bedroom in here? Because when I looked at the photos earlier, here's what I'll show you. Once in the photos area, there's this carport right here that maybe we can enclose and turn this into another bedroom if we pull the permits and everything to get this into a legal bedroom. Looks like we can enclose there. The house doesn't look like it's in terrible shape. I don't know how old these photos are. Outside the kitchen looks fine, actually. You could probably just repaint it, but there's some carpet in here that I'll probably just take out. So I usually use about 8,000 square foot. This is like a really, really big room. I don't know what that is, but we need to get some videos of this property. So if we want to think that there is opportunity to increase a bedroom count by an extra bedroom, maybe that's worth it. So let me get the FMR so I know what the ceiling rents are. So going to HUD FMR 63042, a 3-bedroom is 1480. And then the 4-bedroom was 1710. This was 63042, 63042. 63042. Cool. And now I know what my ceiling rents are. So if I buy it right now as is at 13, let's just give it 1350 is my rent here for this property. Let's say I only do some painting and some minor flooring work. I'm just going to use approximately $10 a square foot. So equals $10 times whatever the square footage is 1052. Cool. So if I took this property as is right now, let's see what the property taxes are for this property. So property taxes is going to be 166 according to Redfin. So I'm put 166. Insurance is 84. So like I've always said, I always take in the insurance number, usually to calculate for a primary residence. I add in 20% premium, just using rough numbers here really quick to see what might it look like. And 10% maintenance, property manager 8%. I have about 3% vacancy right now. This is a 5.8% cash and cash return, assuming I get 1350. Okay. So I'm gonna write this down here. 1350. $200 cash flow, just roughly second, 5.8% cash and cash return. What if I get the maximum ceiling rent? So if I get the maximum ceiling rent, which is 1480, let's do that. 1480 at 1480, this now gives me a cash flow of 305, and this is now an 8.8% cash and cash return. Now, this is a 3 and this is a 3. What I want to look at is that, well, what if I spent all this money and I try to enclose this carport and turn it into an additional bedroom right here? I have to get some contractor bids later. I'm talking to a friend and also a contractor out in St. Louis today, so I'll get more accurate numbers. But this is the type of conversation I want to have because I'm thinking in my brain, how do I get more cash flow from the single family home at 113,900? Let's go here. The 4-bedroom, right? We got 1563. So if I got 1563 and I spent, let's call it, including permits and stuff like that, let's call it like another $20,000 to get the permit in there. If I spend $20,000 to enclose a carport and get the permits and turn it into livable space, now all of a sudden I'm getting 1563 for a previously 3-bedroom property, which is now a 4-bedroom property at 7.19%. So 7.2. This is now a $370 cash flow, and the rent is 1563. 1563. Okay, this is the 4-bedroom. Now I want to look at my ceiling. Okay, what is my best case scenario? What if the county is actually going to pay the ceiling rent here, which is 1710, right? So if I get 1710 now, assuming everything else holds constant, right, including the $20,000 extra, this is why you need to make sure your assumptions make sense, right? You can't just say, hey, I'm going to get 4-bedroom count or for the rent of a 4-bedroom property just because I want to. You have to put in additional costs. Some people might not pull permits. Like I'm always going to pull a permit just because I don't know, it's just kind of silly. And you also always want the HUD inspector that's looking at your property to see like, hey, what happens? So for me right now at $30,000 at 1710 rent, this gets me 487. 1710. This is now 487. And this is a 9.5% return. Okay, so this was assumed the purchase price of 113,900. Okay. So what if I scenario even more, right? How do I make this a deal? So what if I offered this property $80,000 and I kept everything else the same? Okay, this might be a deal for me now because now I'm finally getting to 50%. It's a Section 8 rental, and that actually makes sense. So I'm going to say 4 bedrooms. This is now $80,000. This is still assuming 1710 as my best case scenario. And this is going to be 15.2. And this is now a $665. Right. Cool. All right. It is what it is. If I wanted this to be 17.5%, how much do I have to lower my offer by? 68. Let's see, 67. Yeah, 68. That's what I thought. Okay, 68,000. So if you really just want to believe that action and taking action is all you need, I might go ahead and just offer, okay, I'll give you $68,000 for this home because there's still a good amount of rehab left. Look at all the photos. I still got to do all this stuff. Your numbers might adjust. If for some reason you think you can get this property for a lower rehab cost. So at the end of today, I might have a conversation with a friend who's also a GC and say, hey, how much do you think this rehab will cost? Do you need to walk it or can you just look at the photos and just estimate? Do you think a $30,000 rehab is sufficient to get it to sort of that above average quality that we're looking for? I think $30,000 is probably a lot. I'm probably being really unreasonable here with my estimates, but you never know. It's a new market. So the only way you can get more accuracy is by asking other people. So that's why I decided to kind of go through and run through scenarios with you guys, because in every property, there is a number that makes it a deal. And this is why we practice underwriting every single day, is because, like, well, at what price do we think it's a deal depending on what the rehab cost might be? So this is a good way to kind of map out the scenarios for yourself. It's like, hey, if I keep this as a 3-bedroom, it's probably not a deal, because like 5 to 9%, that's probably not a deal. But if I turn this into a 4-bedroom by enclosing the carport, and I get this property now at not $113,900, but I got it at $80,000, now all of a sudden this might be a slamming deal, because I'm getting a 15% return on my money. And on top of that, this is also a Section 8 rental. So in case my tenant ever loses their job, the government will come in and continue to pay the rest of the rent. So in my opinion, this is a 15% recession resistant investment. And again, this is not investment advice, but that's how I look at the deal, because, hey, there should be a risk adjusted return, right? That's why people buy treasury yields, treasury bonds, because they think the US government will never default on their payments. Similar for Section 8. It's like, hey, if the government never doesn't pay their rents, then we have a whole different problem that you couldn't have necessarily predicted. So cool. Hopefully this was helpful. And let me know if there's other markets or other properties you guys want us to go through. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good one.